And then you said some bigger shifts are coming. Can you tell me what those are?
The biggest shifts will be, so once all the broadcasts have finished, and once people are starting to like scratch their heads and try and figure out how to move forward, there's going to be more information that is going to be shared. The more information is going to be now that the people who have been hiding and keeping away from the public eye, many have faked their own deaths because the truth that they knew and the crimes against humanity that they knew could have ended their lives. And so they faked their own deaths. And there's many people you'll be very surprised to hear about. I'm very surprised.
Any that you could tell me about besides JFK Jr.?
Yes. Yes, many.
What about Princess Diana? Is she alive or passed?
She is alive. She had all the secrets. She was shared a lot of information. And it was very shocking to her because she was in denial. And when she wanted to escape, and when she wanted to focus on the children, her message has always been save the children. You may not have noticed that. You may not have heard that. But it wasn't about her own children, and it wasn't about the children that are starving in the villages. It is about the children that have been slated, kept away in cages, and used. She accidentally stumbled on some very dark energy.
Oh, tell me more about that.
She realized that there were groups of people that were doing quite horrific ceremonies and events. And it was because she was suspicious of her husband having affairs that she stumbled upon the bigger truths of what was happening.
I see. And so she stumbled upon them?
Mm-hmm. She was never invited to them. They never trusted her. This was a very quiet affair that she was not supposed to stumble onto. But because she wanted to catch her husband out cheating, and she stumbled on something she was shocked to see.
What did she see?
Sacrifices.
What did she do after that?
She blocked it from her mental state. It was so terrifying to her. She could not eat. She could not sleep. She panicked. She feared for her life of her children. She knew she needed to get out of that relationship. She could not believe what she saw.
So she saw a sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me more about it?
Yes. It was a yearly ritual that they do, and she stumbled across it. It was her life.
It was what?
She was terrified for her life.
Oh, I see. Did she know the people involved?
Some of them, but they were in costumes.
What kind of costumes?
Cloaks and masks.
What did the masks look like?
No features as such, just plain masks with slots of eyes. The cloaks had hoods over them.
How old did the... Sorry.
She could hear the voices of some of them, but she was so shocked it was like she couldn't even breathe, and she did not want to see, and she was holding her mouth so tight. She just wanted to scream and vomit at the same time.
How old was the child that was being sacrificed?
It was a very young infant, and it had been sedated, and so while it was live, it was not aware. There was no screaming, but it was not dead.
What did she do with this information? And did anybody know she was there?
She stayed until the whole thing, and she was terrified, and she stayed for hours afterwards. She could not move. She wet herself, and she was in shock, deep shock. And she froze so much that she couldn't physically move. She was frozen. in fear. And it took her hours to be able to get out. It was like she had an out-of-body experience because her soul could not handle the extreme trauma she was experiencing. And so when everyone had left and everyone had gone, she slowly came back into her body and regained awareness, but her subconscious knew she could not recall all. So it was blocked out. She remembered that she saw something that was not right, but she does not recall the slaughter of the child.
Is there anything that happened that would be important for anyone to know?
She knew something was not right, but she blocked out the death of the child. But she knew that there was something very dangerous and very dark there. And so she could not stop it. She would have been killed straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very, very scared. And when she tried to talk to her husband about it afterwards,
Oh, she did?
he couldn't understand what had happened. And she waited quite some time to be able to bring it up, to ask him about the garment he has. She asked him about the garment, about the cloak, and he scoffed at her. But he knew she knew something else. So it was very dangerous times for her because she may have potentially known more than what she was asking about, because he didn't care for her. He didn't focus on her. He didn't know what she was up to, actually. And so when she started asking him the bigger questions about this, he suddenly became aware that potentially she's been snooping where she should not have been snooping.
What happened next?
He brought the attention to the others, that potentially she knows more. And because they have been doing this for so long and ignoring her, that they didn't realize that potentially she has seen something she shouldn't have. And because they knew she was a flighty little one, in their opinion, they did not want to continue on her freedom. And this was just as she was starting to make the proceedings. She asked him about it after she had filed for the divorce.
See, where is she now?
She is in America.
What does it look like where she lives?
It's very, very picturesque. It's very countryside. She has a lot of downtime. She doesn't know if she really wants to go back into the public until she's absolutely sure that she will be safe and that her children will be safe.
Do her children know that she didn't pass?
Harry does know that she has not passed.
Does he talk with her?
Yes.
I see. Why not his brother?
Because the brother is not open to it. He doesn't travel as much as Harry has. And the brother is still, he has some darker agendas that are monitoring him. And so the reason why Diana asked Charles about the cloak was because she was wanting to make sure that the sons were not being initiated into that.
Were they initiated into that?
No.
Oh, and so by asking him, she would make sure they weren't because she knew about it.
Yeah. And Charles doesn't want his children to be initiated into it because his morals have lightened. And he understands some of the things he's done in the past do not give him joy. And he's not proud of himself.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This was forced upon him. He did not want to do this. This was his, this was pressure. He was pressurized into doing those things. This doesn't, because of who he is, because of his family, because of his friends. And his peer pressure that has created that.
How long has it been going on for?
As long as he was born, beyond, longer.
What is the purpose of the sacrifice? What does it do?
Shows them makes them feel that they are powerful and that they can do whatever they want, including torturing and killing a brand new baby.
Where would they get the baby?
Prostitutes, people who are in cages, who are being used for sex trafficking. They have endless amounts of babies that they could use. They feel that they are trying to convince themselves that those babies had no chance anyway. The mother was addicted to negative drugs. Who's going to look after this child? Certainly no foster care system. They tried to convince themselves that they were doing this child a favor. As ridiculous as that sounds